Pad Thai. It is easily Thailand's most recognized and internationally loved dish from that country, and I am super excited to show you my take on a Pad Thai, totally vegan. It is delicious and super quick to make, so without wasting any more of your time, let's get into this Pad Thai. Gosh, how many Thai jokes am I gonna make today? A lot. Y'all, I love Pad Thai. It is usually all I ever order when I go out for Thai food at my local Thai restaurant, and it is just like so tasty. It's tangy and sweet and slurpy and noodly and spicy and veggie packed and crunchy, and there's just so much going on, and it's usually loaded with tofu. At least in my case it usually is, because I always order my Pad Thai with loads of tofu. So naturally, of course, I am going to be including some tofu in this vegan Pad Thai recipe. And I'm even gonna be going over 2 different ways that you can cook your tofu to kind of give you a different textural experience. So I will get to that shortly. In the meantime, let's quickly go over our veggies and get them prepped. So for our aromatics that we're gonna be sauteing up first, we're gonna be using some fresh garlic cloves. I have 4 here, and a few hefty, these are like honking huge green onions, AKA scallions, AKA chives. No, chives are smaller. Anyway, these things. You're gonna mince up your garlic real fine, and you're going to also dice up your green onions, separating the white part from the green part. So for our main veggies that we'll be cooking, I've got a red bell pepper and a carrot. I like to have the bell peppers in long slices, and I like to thinly julienne my carrots because I do like to have a little bit of crunchy texture, but if you just want to take the easy route and just grate them, that's fine. And we simply cannot have Pad Thai if we do not have bean sprouts. So you can find bean sprouts at most supermarkets. If not, you can definitely find them at your local Asian market. I found these at my local Korean market. Gorgeous, darling. Okay, let's take this Pad Thai party over to the stove where I'm gonna show you guys how I'm going to cook my tofu. So you're gonna wanna grab yourself a large skillet like this, or if you have a wok, that's even better. And then we're gonna heat up about a tablespoon of oil. You can choose to either use a neutral oil, like grapeseed oil or avocado oil, or you can use sesame oil, because I really love the flavor that sesame oil imparts, so I'm actually opting for that today. Now when it comes to our humble block of tofu, there are many things you can do with this to make this taste great in this Pad Thai. Now I'm gonna be crumbling it into almost like a tofu scramble, and the reason why I'm gonna be doing that is because Pad Thai often has scrambled egg and often has a protein as well. Now because I prefer to have more of like an eggy vibe in my Pad Thai, I'm gonna be making like a tofu scramble. But if you prefer to just cut up your block of extra firm tofu into cubes and season it however you like, that's what you can do in this step instead. Also, in case I didn't mention this before, which I know I definitely didn't, make sure you get a pot of water boiling so you can cook your rice noodles. Okay, so now this has been cooking for like 4-ish minutes. You can see it's nice and hot and steamy. I'm just going to pretty much remove it from the pan. I'm just gonna scoop it into a bowl, set it aside for when we need it next. And then I'm just gonna add another tablespoon or so of oil. I'm running out of my sesame oil, Lord. And then with the heat still on like medium, we're gonna add in our garlic and the white parts of the green onion. And then you just let that saute down for about 2 or 3 minutes, just until it gets nice and fragrant. In the meantime, you can get your rice noodles cooking. I'm using like a vermicelli style noodle. Okay, so it's been 3 minutes. Things are smelling excellent and the garlic's getting nice and translucent. So now we can go ahead and add in our sliced bell peppers and our carrots. And we're just gonna keep the heat on medium, and we're gonna let these cook again for about another 3 to 5 minutes, just until they're nice and tender, not mushy, but still have some texture, some firmness. Okay, so while everything's cooking, we can make our quick sauce that we're gonna be seasoning the whole dish with. So we've got 3 tablespoons of coconut sugar. You can also use brown sugar if you don't use coconut sugar or you don't have it. Then I have 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. If you're gluten-free, you can also use tamari. This actually is a gluten-free soy sauce. I'll let you guys know what it is in the comments. Then I have 2 tablespoons of sriracha. Now, if you are sensitive to spice, you can absolutely eliminate it, or you can just reduce the amount to like a tablespoon or less, whatever suits you. And this ingredient is tamarind paste. Now this is traditionally used in pad thai sauce, and if you can't find it, that's okay, but if you can, it is a really nice to have. It adds like this really nice tart, tangy sourness that really like kind of gives it that authentic sweet and sour flavor in a pad thai sauce. So you can generally find tamarind paste in most Asian markets. Then just give it all a good whisk. And one last ingredient that I don't want to forget is lime juice. Now I have half a lime here. I'm gonna squeeze about 1 tablespoon or so. This is just gonna add so much good, fresh, tangy flavor. If you want it to be a little bit more liquidy than this, you can always add a couple tablespoons of water. And then the last ingredient is cornstarch. This is just gonna help thicken up the sauce as it cooks in the pan, just so that it's not too runny. Ta-da! Okay, let's go back to the veggies. Yoink. Okay, things are coming together. Things are looking nice and kind of browned over here. Things are tender, not mushy, just how we like it around these parts. So now we're gonna take that delicious little sauce we just whipped up. Ow, don't burn your finger. We're just gonna pour that into the veggies. Let all the flavors coalesce and commingle and cooperate. Turn the heat down to like medium low-ish. Give it a stir, and we're just going to let that kind of bubble away for a couple minutes until it starts to thicken up. And then we'll come back for the next step. Delicious, I want you in my belly. Okay, so now that the sauce is getting really nice and thick and delicious, we can add pretty much everything else to the pan. So I'm gonna add the tofu. Whoa, try not to like get it everywhere all over your stove. Try and have some finesse. You can add the green parts of the green onions that we chopped up, plus about a cup of bean sprouts. And then save some for garnish when we serve it up. Give it all a good toss. This is also when you're ideally supposed to add your noodles, but my noodles actually aren't quite finished cooking yet, so that's fine. If you run into the same issue as me, you can kind of get this stirred up, put it on a low heat, and just wait for the noodles to be done, and then you can stir them into the dish. It's all good. It's so beautiful. Okay, noodles are done. You can add them in. Extra slurpy, extra noodly. We don't judge noodles around here. All nudes are good nudes. Support nudes. It's a beaut. So colorful. It's like a bowl of noodles and rainbows. It's kind of funny how these noodles really are resembling spaghetti to me right now. We're having pad thai-getti beaut. Now, we're not done. We must garnish appropriately. A little sprinkle of cilantro, some extra green onions, a little handful of chopped peanuts. Can't forget some extra bean sprouts around the edges. And lastly, a little lime wedge. So easy, you guys. That is like a 30-minute meal, and I'm so excited to eat this. Oh my God. I need to get an appropriate sized mouthful here. There's a lot going on. Mostly noodles, that's fine. Whoa. This is so good. Highly recommend. So simple, 30-minute meal. Definitely make sure you guys make this recipe and let me know how it turns out in a comment below. And coming soon, I have an entire Thai-inspired meal prep video dropping on the channel really soon. You don't want to miss out on that. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on that awesome video. And that's it. I love you guys so much, and I'll see ya in another video. Bye-bye. A big orange carrot. Yes, of course, most carrots are orange.